This is my favorite type of film when you go in expecting something and it's something completely different. So, let's talk about Relic. So, where do I begin with this film? I can say it's really good, and I was not expecting it to be this good. But yeah, Relic is a story of a grandmother who goes missing for a few days, and her daughter and her granddaughter visit to basically help try to find her and figure out what's going on. And they realize that the grandmother believes she's being haunted / followed by something. And there's a lot more to it than that, but I'm going to avoid spoilers for this at all costs, because I went into this knowing absolutely nothing. I seen a few people that I follow praising it, so I'm like, I'll give it a shot, a little whirly whirl. And I knew it was in the horror genre, so I went in expecting a horror movie, but what I watched was so much more. And by that I mean, at its core, at its deepest core, the main aspect of this film is a family drama. It's about a grandmother, her daughter, and her granddaughter struggling to cope basically with growing old in age. And that sounds weird, I know, but when you see it, you'll understand it. But yeah, this film, the three leads, are all pretty good in this. I dug all three characters. I liked all three actors in their respective roles. I liked them a lot. The spooks, since this is horror is its co-genre, I guess you want to call it, or its subgenre. The spooks work. I was on edge quite a few scenes. I kept watching the backgrounds, trying to spot things. The opening scene, real quick, fun fact, random thought. The opening scene is intense as all hell, and it doesn't really show much, and it's like, oh snap, something's happening here. And it took me by surprise with the opening scene, because I didn't expect it to open so strong, but it absolutely nailed it. And the spooks work, like I said. The sound design is creepy as all hell. Like, since the grandmother, of course, lives in a big, old-timey house, of course, things creak, doors creak, walls creak. And throughout the film, you'll hear, like, little creaks and stuff, and it's like, was that just the house, or was it something more just waiting behind the corner, you know? Like, people psych themselves out in, like, haunted walks and, like, their own home. Like, oh, you hear a creak that you're not sure what it is. Like, what actually was that? It's that type of stuff. It works. Is it intentional? Was it mistakes by the cast and crew? Who knows? But it works. So, good for them. Overall, as a film, it's extremely well made. With the sound design, how it's shot, the lighting. It's all really good. But I will say this. When I first watched it, I only saw it once. When I finished watching it, I thought to myself, I don't like the last half hour. I was not a fan of it. I didn't like it. I was loving it till the last half hour. And you'll hit a point where you'll realize, okay, this is happening. And then you might be like me and not like it. And that's perfectly fine. But when I actually sat down and paused for a second and started to think about the film and think about its themes and the meaning of the plot twist, I'm like, this is actually pretty clever. I don't dislike the last half hour as much. I still don't love it. I don't love the twist. I don't love how it ends. I get it. I understand why they did it that way. It's cool. It ends on a gorgeous shot, and it's actually kind of terrifying at the same time. So, thumbs up. But in my brain, I saw the film going a different way, and for some reason I kind of like psyched myself out for it, which is very rare that I do that, but I guess I was just so engrossed in the characters and in the story that I just like pre-gamed where the film was going ahead of time. But the final half hour is really strong when you actually think about it with its themes. Now, that doesn't mean you have to like it. Like I always say, you can understand something and comprehend something and still dislike it. And that's perfectly fine. But yeah, Relic, creepy, well acted, good sound design, well shot. It's a good, tiny, independent horror family drama from Australia. That's really good. And speaking of which, man, Australia has been pumping out some really good movies lately. So, keep slaying the film game. But, like always, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.